Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from Park Jihoon, CL, and Stray Kids. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including PD101 Vote Manipulation Bombshells, the curious case of BlackPink, and the 2019 Mnet Asian Music Awards. So prepare your body, strap yourselves in, because we in here, SojuTalk Nation. Hit me with that intro. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 64, and we're recording on Monday, December 9th, 2019. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, please leave us feedback, questions, or hot takes at SojuTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Links down below. Yo, I got a second sticker wall. We got K-Music Everyday sticker.
Ooh.
But if for some crazy reason you want me to put a sticker on the wall that's K-pop related, let us know, and I will give you our mailing address. Just throwing that out there.
For example, if I send you a really, really big jury sticker, you'll put it on there.
I mean, as long as it's like not massive. Like I don't want her
sending a wall decal.
Oh my god. Okay. You remember like Fathead, the thing they used to those wall decals? I guess maybe
yeah.
Please don't send me one of those. That one might not make the wall. But if it's reasonable, sure. But we're going straight into the big new releases this week. We had 4 from 3 artists. So let me explain. Back on December 4th, Wednesday, we had Park Jihoon's comeback with 360. We had CL with double comebacks with Done and Rewind. And then on Monday, December 9th, today, we had Stray Kids with, I'm going to call it Levanter. I don't know how they're pronouncing it, but that's what we're going to go with. But let's start at the top with Park Jihoon's 360. So he is from Maru Entertainment. He debuted back in August 2017 with 101. 2019 as a solo artist, and his one other song which he debuted with was LOVE. Okay, whew. Since Anita is the Park Jihoon fan, let's let her go first today.
I would, yes. Okay, so my first take of this song is that it was a very interesting direction as in comparison to his debut, Love, because it seems more electronic and slightly darker at the same time, a little bit more mature, I would say. And I don't mind it. I think it's good, but it was unexpected from my perspective. I also felt like the number of sets and outfits was a lot, and I was not prepared for that, but oddly enough, I found it like all of them were very beautiful, very well done. So even though I do think like it might have been sensory overload at some point, I didn't mind it. I think because it was very well done. Like the quality of all of it was great. So I like that. I think my only criticism of the song itself, not the music video, is that I was expecting the chorus to have a little bit more of a rise in action. But it felt like it stayed pretty much at the same level throughout. But I don't know. I feel like maybe that's just something that I would have preferred to see. But overall, the song itself was not bad at all. I think I prefer this than his debut song.
Yeah, I 100% like this song more. In terms of, you said like you wish that the choreo was a little more of a rise, like got a little more hyped up.
The chorus, yeah.
The chorus. Okay, my point is about the choreo, which I accidentally said in there. But my take is, considering how talented Park Jihoon is as a dancer, I was slightly let down by the choreo, especially in the chorus.
I
think it's half because of the choreo, half because of the editing of the music video.
Oh, in the music video.
The editing.
I think that, okay, so in the chorus, he's going for like a Taemin-esque minimalist dance, right? Where you do a little bit, you flaunt a little, you look cool. In my opinion, especially in the first chorus, they edited so it was all just like super close-ups. I couldn't even see the dancing.
You couldn't see the whole body.
At one point, he was just doing like the hand things, and I'm like, all right, is that what we're just gonna go with? That being said, though, I thought this is a really good vibing song, which is clearly what this is. Very different from LOVE. I think it's my main point about this. It's interesting to see the varying levels of success the X101 members are having right now. because his first comeback, if you compare the views on, I know this song just came out on Wednesday, but if you compare the views like even remotely to his last track, this one's it's way down, I would say, at this point. Also, it didn't help that they released this music video on two channels at the same time, which I never think is a good idea to do. So they're separating the base.
Yeah, this was on but the Bugs
Bugs
YouTube
and
channel?
his official channel, I believe.
I mean, a lot of idols release their music videos in two ways like that, through the label and their own channel. But
Yeah, my favorite scenes were number one. The horse was kind of out of nowhere. Like there was a random horse. I was like, all right, we do it a horse, but then it disappeared. But I thought the water pool scenes were the best part of this.
Yes. I like the choreo there. That's good.
Yeah.
the moment where like he like rises out of the water, like all like kind of dripping.
Dripping. Okay.
Man, I mean, like that was a good scene.
No, yeah, it's an interesting move because Maru is not like a massive company, right? By any stretch of the imagination, and they had a boy group project going on right now with some of the kids who did not make the final lineup in Produce X101. Yep. Heinami is in that one, I believe.
Oh.
So people were wondering, is Park Jihoon eventually going to become a boy group, or are they just going to keep going solo route with him? That was a common discussion I saw. I think they're committed to him as a solo artist, at least for now.
I think so too, yeah.
But just some food for thought. What about you, Warren?
Let's talk about the music real quick. Because I think Doug kind of said everything I want to say about the choreo. I did think it was a little, I don't want to say lackluster, but I didn't feel like there was a lot to look at. But at the same time, I definitely feel like it's not one of those songs where I'm gonna like
Expect
flaunt a
something
lot.
crazy? Yeah.
Yeah. And even though the music video wasn't like heavily focused on his choreo, I still felt like it was pretty interesting. The way the videography worked, I still thought it was pretty cool. The song itself, okay, so it's like a slow deep bass, deep house kind of song. There was like like that tempo, like 110-ish.
Yeah.
Slow house music, and it's another one of those situations where every boy group or male artist coming back in winter makes this kind of song at one point, maybe once, maybe twice. It's one of those things. I feel like it's another thing people are doing. I've started noticing it since like October-ish, and it's definitely suitable for the season. But at the same time, after hearing this kind of song every other week or maybe every week, it does kind of blend in a little bit. So in that aspect, to me, it kind of blends in with the other songs with this kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it's a good thing because I can have a whole playlist of these and just vibe out the entire day. But at the same time, it's not super amazing because it also means that you're kind of not differentiating yourself from the crowd.
Yeah.
So that's where I am again a little concerned. But at the same time, he does have a pretty dedicated fan base. He does have a pretty dedicated listener group. So I'm not. Generally, it felt like a very safe comeback.
I agree with your like point about the song not being really, really memorable. Like, it's one of those weird things. It's like it feels like Taemin's the only one who can do it right now. Where these like spacey casual songs, but you still don't like. Oh, this is Taemin. I gotta watch this. Like because you know how I always say when Taemin comes back, it's like it's equally about the music as it is about the performance. With Taemin, that it grabs your attention because you want to see. Oh, I want to see what kind of dance he's gonna do. With this, it's like because the I felt that the performance aspect wasn't super strong. It leaves me like, oof, you chose a song that is not super catchy on the music aspect, but then I find my faults with the choreo, so then it leaves me conflicted. I do like the song though.
I do like the song too, but I really hate making comparisons between idols like this.
Yeah,
but. Like, remember like a couple weeks ago, we did a Herald segment where talent, idols need to have talent, as in they need to grab people's attention on stage.
Yeah,
Taemin definitely has that. And
yes.
because he is so like top level in that aspect, a lot of the artists that kind of try to do similar things, I feel like don't shine as much in that field. Not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like for example, like you said earlier, when I listen to a song of this genre, immediately the name that pops into my mind is Taemin because he does leave a very strong impression. I didn't get that with this. If you're a fan, maybe you had a different impression.
I think he's still improving though. I think he'll definitely get better over time.
Improving. No, I'm not saying
it's just at this point, I see him as like I don't think he's 100% there yet. I think he's getting there for sure. But
I'm still excited for the next comebacks and whatnot.
No, I want to see what happens in the next comeback. If he keeps with this like type of music, will be the most interesting thing.
Could I also shout out that the rest of the mini album is actually really good too, and I'm actually surprised they chose this song.
Okay, see,
because I would have liked. There's another track called Hurricane that it's a little bit more upbeat and it's more like retro-ish, but it sounds really good. And I'm interested as to why they chose this one in particular to be the single, but check it out.
If you have some connections at Maru, let us know why they chose this one. But let's now move on to the return of Queen CL. I think honestly she deserves the queen title. She is a queen of the industry.
Yes.
She came back with 2 songs, Done 16-12-01 and Rewind 17-02-05, but we're gonna just call them Done and Rewind. The weird thing about her right now is we do not know what company she's under, if she's doing her own thing. No one knows.
She's still with Scooter Brown.
Yeah, but it's not mentioned anywhere in any of the descriptions for these songs. But she debuted back in 2009 with 21, 2013 as a solo artist. Her last 3 songs were Lifted, Hello Bitches, and Membung. Only 1 music show win, but sometimes for solo artists, music shows aren't reflective of the popularity. So this was the description to get to like, why are these songs weirdly numbered? So the 2 tracks look back on the former 21 members' cherished memories from 2016 and 17. They're the first to be released from CL's album In the Name of Love, which is her first since leaving YG Entertainment. Fans can expect 2 songs a week released over the next 2 weeks. So I believe she's going to be doing a 2018-19 like songs coming out, I think next week. Something like that.
Nice.
Okay.
But let's first start with Done. So this song was the music video, it's made with the help of her friends. I'm going to name some of the people who appeared in it. Taeyang, Sohee, CL, Minji, Ihai, Dara, Taboo from Black Eyed Peas, acting musician Soohyun, Jong-hwa, and even Kiko Mizuhara. So that was a...
Yo, Sick K was in a...
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know rappers, fam. Sorry. But for me, I don't know how people are reacting to this song, but I think that this is pretty much a CL diss track.
It's a flex.
This is
a strong one.
I'm gonna curse. I don't curse very often. I make an effort not to. I'm gonna curse. This is some queen level shit right here. Everyone, I'm sorry, mom, if you are listening to this, but this is some queen level shit. Just gonna throw that out there. This is a strong but subtle middle finger to YG. It's my overall take about this song.
It could be interpreted as
I think it 100% is. I said this song is so funky and great. I'm going to read off 2 lyrics from the song. So the first one, I don't want you back. Don't come back. Wake up. We're done for good. Tears I shed for you is my last gift for you. What's done is done. Woo! That is spicy. And the second one, don't hit me up. Don't show up on me. The one who left me, baby boy, that was you. Please don't hit me up. Don't call me. I told you that you would be the one to regret this, you fool.
Strong words.
Big oof, as they say.
This is like... So clearly she's not had a great time at YG in the past like 3-4 years. Most people recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
If this was what she was going for, this was tremendous, I think. What about you guys? What did you think of this song?
Do I go first or Anita, do you
Yes.
want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I mean, it can be interpreted as a YG diss track, and it can also be interpreted as a bye-bye ex-boyfriend kind of song. It's definitely up to the listener to choose which. I will choose to side with Doug on this one.
Thank you. Okay.
I mean, the song itself was very nice to listen to. It was...
Yes.
Because recently, the last couple of years, when I think of CL, immediately my mind goes to like her rap tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Her thing with Diplo a while back, and then hello, bit is la 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 la, you know that thing, and like, and then I forgot for a while. Sia's a good singer, and now I listened to this
Yes.
song, and I was like, I'm vibing. This is a bop. She's a good singer. I forgot she was a good singer, and it's really nice because CL does have a very like unique character in her voice that isn't found in other people in a very, very nice way. And I like listening to that. And then I find out that she kind of produced it and then wrote the song herself too. So I'm like, wow, like it's great. I'm looking forward to this album. I kind of like the other song better, to be honest. But even then, like this is something I could like listen to at any given point of the day, even when I'm waking up or when I'm going to sleep. And like I don't know. It was just a nice, very chill hip hop track with like a lot of voxes and like vocoders and like
Yeah, those were the things. I didn't know exactly what they were called, but that was like the main sound you get from this.
you know
Yeah.
that one. You know.
But Anita, did you like this song as well?
I did. I feel like for me, more than the song though, I just found like the whole production and like how it's all set up in the phone and like it seems very like I don't know what the term would be, but like very like transparent, like homemade kind of thing where I don't know. I think the titles, and I think someone explained it, that the titles of the songs are supposed to represent that these were written a while ago or something.
Oh,
like that.
she's been sitting on these.
Like they've been prepared for a while, but they just weren't released. So I feel like that's just like the cherry on top. Like, wow, like all the thought that came into this and the production. It just, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think it's really fun, and it also made me feel really good to see that there's so many people that she's supported by, like the friends and like close colleagues that she has. And I don't know. I feel really happy for her. I feel like things have been rough, but I'm glad she's still doing this. I'm glad that she hasn't given up.
Okay, I'm gonna make one take on the she's been sitting on these songs. I think it's true because when these songs released, I think this done one had subtitles in 11 languages already. You don't do that overnight, so that kind of points to the fact that they've been sitting on this for a while. But
I mean, the fact is, Seal's also she's one of those people
Global.
who produces her own music.
oh yeah, that's true.
What is she gonna do when she's not doing anything? She's gonna keep making music. So I'm sure there's like a terabyte full of like
So
her
much,
songs that's
yeah.
just sitting there, not released yet, and then we're only gonna hear 8 of them. But I mean, we're getting 8, so I'm happy.
Let's now move on to Rewind, which I thought was more of the visual scrapbook of CL's life in 2017, somewhere around that time. I wrote that this was well, in terms of visual aspect, super nostalgic, but the song itself is has a lot of hopeful vibes for the future. I think CL is resilient, powerful, and unwavering as a person. The lyric that stuck out to me most was "Let's start over, never meant to change, the fire in your eyes." These lyrics are amazing in these songs. Wow. You know, it's hard to judge these songs because they are kind of short. They're like 2 minutes and change each.
Is it?
Yeah,
Man,
they're
doesn't feel like
fairly
it.
short. I don't know it's like these are kind of songs you don't really judge it on like the music itself. You judge it for what it's representing, the meaning. I would say the music videos are very like different than an average music video. And I see these more as like artistic pieces, kind of her just reintroducing herself to everyone, being like, I'm still here, watch out. But what do you guys think of this one?
This song is great. It's great on a lot. It's good on a lot of aspects. I like the production. I like the lyrics. I like pretty much every thing about this song. Her verse is very solid. Her singing is very solid. I like the drum. You know that thing. I like that thing as well. But I mean, kind of going back to what Doug just mentioned, it really makes me excited for this album.
For sure.
Because the first 2 tracks of what seems to be this 8-track mini album or full-length album or mixtape or whatever she's gonna call it is very, very focused, very based on her own life. And it looks like this 8-track album is gonna be some sort of concept album or like a narrative album based on her own life. And nothing makes me more excited than an album like that, where there's a clear like plot throughout the album. And it looks like we're getting one of those, with this, if the next two tracks and the two tracks after and the two tracks after are kind of follow the same suit, we're gonna get a whole 8-track short
Story.
movie. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
because listening to this song, you can clearly tell that she has like a story she wants to tell, like a message she wants to get across. And let's be real, how many times do we get that in K-pop? Like 5 times a year. and then suddenly we get 2 in a row, buddy. Whoa! Come on. That stuff like that really gets me excited. You know, there's a lot of things to dig into.
Yep.
You can, at the same time, even with the last song, it does feel like it was produced 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if without context, I might have been like, oh, 2-3 years ago, somebody's behind the trend wave. But now that I kind of understand the context of where these songs are coming from, it kind of adds to it. And then I'm like, oh man, it's like I'm kind of having a flashback moment with CL.
It's like a time capsule right there.
It's a time capsule. Yeah.
I also think that there might be a lot of fans who are recently getting into K-pop and don't realize how significant CL is as a person in the industry. She is like, I'm sure everyone's heard of G-Dragon. She's the female G-Dragon. Like essentially that's what they were at YG when they were both at the peak.
She go by the name of CL021.
I know, right?
Yep. Legendary lines right there.
It's been a long time coming, but she here now. Oh, let's go. All right, but Anita, what'd you think of Rewind before we move on?
Well, I don't know. My first comment is that I love like the scrapbook collage theme throughout the video because I don't know, that's
an Anita thing to do.
It is. I love collages. But other than that, I feel like my biggest question right now is like I'm excited for what she's gonna release in the next couple of weeks and for this album in general. But I still wonder, like, I know a lot of fans are wondering if the lyrics and stuff that she's talking about, if it hints at any form of like reunion, you know, with 2NE1.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, I hope that if it happens, like I don't know. Like I don't know if it's gonna be a permanent thing or if it's a feature that might happen in the future. But I hope they do get to work together again. I feel like they want it, and I feel bad if they don't get to do it.
Yeah, honestly, for that to happen, Sandra Park needs to leave YG. Let's just throw that out there. Like, let's be real honest about this. It's true. It's the unfortunate truth of the situation. And her contract is up soon, so we'll see what happens. But now let's pivot to our last song of the week. So today, on December 9th, Monday, Stray Kids came back with Levanter. I think that's how they pronounce it, as I said before, but let's just go with that. So they are from JYP, of course. They debuted in March of 2018. Last three songs, a strong 2019 with Double Notch, Side Effects, and Mirror. Only one music show wins. I'm sure that will increase over 2020. But I wrote a great cap to their strong year. I think overall beautiful scenes. They're in a field, a purple field. It reminded me of an Uju Sonyo music video.
Stars.
You get it, right? Like Space Uju Sonyo. I thought that this song was a huge focus on the vocals, which is a interesting departure for them. I thought it was great. There were some lines I liked. I want to be myself, even if it's strange. The one I needed was me. I think those are great lines. Super uplifting. And lastly, so my favorite member of Stray Kids is my boy Felix from Australia. Shout out to Felix. Yo, he had that one dance section at the end, bro. And then there was one that close up. His line, it's all good now. And then the stomping section, which randomly came out of nowhere.
That was nice.
That was fire. That kid. Every time I listen to a new Stray Kids song, I'm still impressed at how deep his voice is. Like,
you don't expect it.
I know it's gonna be deep, but it deep. Like, I can't hit the notes. But what'd y'all think of this one?
Me first?
You can go.
Okay. I really liked it. I feel like for me, I still feel like there's a story in the MVs. Like there's something that I'm missing and I haven't figured it out yet, but there's like clues with like a flask of like yellow particles or something. And it seems like they're either leaving and like transitioning to a different place. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the story is, but I know there's something. I just haven't figured it out yet. So I found that interesting, but it is a little frustrating because it's a little more challenging to figure out what the storyline is. But overall, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the song. It was a little bit more mellow. I would compare it to a track kind of like "I Am You," where it's not supposed to be like super hard hitting, but it's still heartfelt and inspiring, kind of. And I really liked how they were styled. Like I felt like very, very cozy. It fit with the season, I think.
Cozy is the right word. Lots of big sweaters.
Yeah, I really liked it. I feel like it might have been inappropriate. Like it might have not fit with other songs that they had recently, but with this one in particular, because it's more of a pop ballad kind of. I don't know what the genre would be, but it's really interesting. And same thing, Felix's close up, I think was really interesting, especially because it was so close up that you could see like his freckles. I really know he had freckles.
Yo, shout out to Australia though. Shout out
to the freckles though.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. I don't know. I really liked it.
Warren, what'd you think of Levanter?
I'm gonna continue off the argument I made earlier with Jihoon's track, mostly here. I mean, the song itself, there's nothing much to say anything bad about. It's a fine song. It's a pop ballad with like a trap drum track in the background, which makes sense because a lot of the songs they've been releasing have a very strong like trap hip hop influence. So this is basically their take on the slow deep house. Doug just texted me saying I need to lower the mic volume. You can just tell me these things. It's not fine.
Oh man, we're breaking the fourth wall, man.
Okay, I lowered it 10%. Everyone wants to get a bit of that behind the scenes spice in here.
You want? I'm gonna throw some spice right now. I think we figured out Anita's internet.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're dumb because I think we had been trying things for
oh man,
since like episode, I want to say like 55, right? Something like that. We've been trying. We've had Cyborg Anita for a while. We finally thought of a fix, and it was a stupid fix that was available to us the entire time. But I think we're good. I might just jinx it. But Warren, keep going. Keep going.
We got completely derailed there.
All right, so I'll close it up then. Felix.
No. I'm not done speaking.
Okay.
The song.
It's basically the Stray Kids take on the whole like the trend I was talking about earlier, kind of slow electronic deep house songs, kind of 110-ish, 100-ish BPM. Even this one has a kind of slow kind of pace. Again, which is fine. It works. It's very safe, but I might argue it's a little too safe. It's like I'm in a lab. Like like. I don't need 100% sanitation over here. Like,
no,
I'll argue 99% 5. Like, just like it's fine. Like, 80% of sanitation will do, guys. Like, I don't like
No. I'm gonna disagree with you on this. If you look at the other 3 songs they've released this year, you got to give them a break on this one.
Yeah, it's
you got it. Like, I don't think this was meant to be like a like.
I mean,
tremendous. I think they released this song knowing like, all right, this might do okay, but this is not gonna be double knot or side effects or mirror.
I don't want every song that comes from them to be a trap banger with the EDM drop. But at the same time, there's like 50 million genres out there. Doesn't have to.
But I thought this was just them being like looking hopefully at 2020 because I think that's gonna be their blow up year. If this year was though, but I think they're gonna continue on with it.
It was personally, I prefer Double Knot over this, and then Double Knot's supposedly pre-release for this track. So you kind of get the point there. Also, shout out to JYP for writing the song.
He wrote this one.
He wrote the lyrics to some of it.
Cool. But I got one side piece. We're just gonna mention it. So Sung Shi Kyung, who's a veteran ballad artist, he released a duo track with IU this morning called First Winter. It's pretty much a Disney ballad. It was released this morning. It is I'm pretty sure at this point it has achieved an all kill. It is really good. So go listen to that. But now let's transition into our show winners for this week. So on the show, which is on Tuesday, Kang Daniel won with Touching. So shout out to him.
Ooh.
Show champion was won by Mamamoo's Hip. So now they have 5 wins for Hip. Music Bank and Show Music Core were both won by EXO's Obsession. So now they have 2. And finally, Inkigayo, which was on Sunday, was won by IU's Blooming, bringing the total up to 2. So shout out to the winners. All giant artists won this week.
Congrats,
Yeah.
everybody.
But now let's move on to hot takes with Harold. So Cousin Harold's going to come on today and give his weekly hot take. And then we, the crew, will react and discuss the hot take. Let's go. Let me go get Harold. Shout out to Anita's internet this week.
Oh my god.
Oh, I wonder how Harold's doing today. Look at him go. Oh man, what a guy.
You know what I'm getting this year for Christmas? A bunch of
What are you getting?
coal.
Oh.
But the weekly hot take is visual is one of the most difficult roles in K-pop. Bam. See y'all next week.
Ooh.
Alright, see you, man.
Bye.
All right.
I'm gonna mail him a box of coal.
So if you want to mail us coal, let me know. I'll give you our mailing address. But the weekly hot take is visual is one of the most difficult roles in K-pop. Oh, I thought a lot about this one this week.
Ooh. Where do you stand?
I have
Who
to
wants
agree
to go
with.
first?
I sort of agree with this. Now,
Sort of.
Sort of.
I sort of agree with this because I think all roles in K-pop are difficult. I think
Okay,
K-pop is just
that's
difficult
fair.
to do. But that
This
being
is
said,
hard.
there is no one more under the microscope in a group than the visual.
Agreed.
On
Yeah.
I'm talking not on a musical standpoint, but on like a press standpoint, on a like people looking at the group standpoint. Generally, people always want to be like, this person's really good looking when they look at K-pop. That is a lot of people's first reaction when looking at K-pop groups. They're like, before you even hear the new songs, when they release like concept photos for new groups, everyone just comments on the visuals.
Kind of
In general.
In general, for most groups, if
Yeah.
you don't know who's in the group or there's no pre-exposure, you're like, these people are good looking. And you're like, this is the good looking person. Let's see if they're talented. So in my mind, you're putting the visual first before you look at the talent, which is sort of like most life is. You judge a book by its cover, which technically not the best way to go about things, but it honestly just happens. That being said, like, all idols are under really fine microscopes in the industry. If you gain like 3 pounds, you might get an article written about you. It's like, oh my God, they're fat now, right? Like, it's just, I think it's so wrong that happens, but it's the truth of what the industry is at this point. That being said, I know, of course, being a main vocal's tough because your voice might crack on the stage. Dancers obviously tough, but a lot of dancers are naturally super good at dancing, right? So I don't think they worry as much. Of course, they get stage fright, but like visual, you are under constant pressure to look good whenever you leave the dorm. I don't know. I'm just setting the stage here, but what do you guys think about this?
Here's the thing, right?
Okay.
I also kind of agree.
Hey, really?
I don't. This is kind of difficult one to like
Disagree.
disagree or agree with completely. Here's the thing, right? Like, let's think about how much effort a person puts into their craft. A main vocalist probably spends hours singing, singing, doing scales, doing arpeggios, la 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 la. Spend hours doing that. I bet. Like, main dancers, I bet they like just practice dance sometimes the whole day. You know, like. And in that aspect, what does the main visual do? Not eat.
Hey.
Here's the thing. In terms of that, in terms of active effort, the main visual doesn't put in that much more than other people. Is my guess. I might be totally wrong, but at the same time, they put in a lot more passive effort, meaning they have to continuously put in an effort over long periods of time to meet a certain standard in the industry.
Yeah.
Passively, meaning all the time. Meaning
yeah.
every time I leave the dorm. But at the same time, that also applies to all the other idols.
But
Just be-
but here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Main dancer, main singer, whatever you are. Let's say you're not the person who's chosen as the visual, which I think is already a dumb concept in general.
Hey there, Rocket Punch doesn't have a main visual. We're a fine girl group.
Okay.
Please, good sir, watch
But if we think about the other aspects of a group, singing, dancing, you dance and sing at specific times. Like, we're going on the stage. We're going to dance and
Right.
sing. We're going on this variety show. We might be asked to dance and sing. A visual, whenever you're out in public, you're technically doing your role. I'm not saying that I know everyone in K-pop is a visual, right? But the people who are chosen as the like extremely good-looking few, like the god tier visuals, right? They will get the majority of the attention when they like go to the airport, right? When they stand for the press photos. Everyone looks at the main visual and they're the ones who get a lot of the articles written about them.
Yeah, but at the same time, for example, like Red Velvet, clearly the most famous visual of that group is Irene. But that doesn't mean other members don't get pictures taken.
No,
of
I'm not
them.
saying that, but I'm saying it's a gift and a curse because you're also judged extremely. Like, Irene is an extremely good dancer, yet everyone just knows her for her visuals. And I
Right.
think that's unfair to her skill as a dancer because when they did the pre-release stuff, she was doing the dances with Sugi, which were released on YouTube. And everyone's like, this girl can really dance. But once she came out and the general public started to intake Red Velvet, they're like, this girl's a god tier visual. She is the visual member.
Yeah.
But Anita, what do you feel about this? Take this.
I think for me, to be honest, I feel like I just have a hard time with that term, with that label visual, because I feel like it's very limiting, like you mentioned, how it puts people under a microscope where what they really nitpick about is their appearance, right? So in that sense, I feel like I have to agree completely with the take, because I sometimes feel like even if the term is not mentioned, like if they're not labeled as visual by the company or when they debut or whatnot, I feel like the media kind of centers in on at least one individual, right, from the group, and says like, oh, this person is very, very, very attractive. Like they could be an actor, like, oh, they should be on like commercials, or like they should be the ones on the variety shows. And like in a sense, that brings like so much mental like pressure, like this sense of like, oh, everybody's watching you, everybody thinks you're really attractive, and you have to represent the group. So it's I don't know, it's a really, really tough position, and I really hope it kind of dies off. Like I hope that label of like labeling someone and limiting that to a visual is not that common in practice anymore, hopefully. But it does happen, and I feel like you can't really help it because it's very much a part of K-pop, I think, and K-pop groups. So I don't know. I feel like it's very hard, and I do hope that more than ever, like, there should be more support for the whole group, to be honest, but especially for people that are so heavily criticized by media, like being like all those malicious comments, like that judged you, right, just for your appearance. I hope they would get more support.
Yeah, like everyone knows about Irene's visuals. People occasionally remember Irene's dance. Nobody ever talks about Irene's amazing rap verses. Like, come on.
Are you making a joke?
Yes.
But he's a good vocalist. Like I feel like that's a thing. Like I definitely agree with that example, because before she had like this much focus on her for how pretty and beautiful she was, like she was I would say praised by the same amount of effort, like dancing, singing, rapping, as the other girls. So I feel like it does put you in a very difficult position when they start to label you just as that.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I definitely, now that you bring that point up, I definitely think I agree. Like, if you become labeled a visual, your efforts in other aspects might be undermined.
Downplayed.
Oh man! Oh yes!
What?
I agree now. Oh man! Beautiful take, Anita.
Beautiful take. But
We all agree.
The puzzle pieces.
okay, I guess we agree. But my point is that I think all roles are super difficult, but visual is just a reflection of Korean society and K-pop as a whole. It's But just remember at home, everyone listening, you are all beautiful and you are all visuals too. Although you don't
Yes.
have pictures taken about, like, bro, if I was a visual, I would wear like a bag on my head because like I don't want pictures taken of me 24/7. I feel like
It's hard. It's
it must be
hard.
so like stressful. But let's now move on to news and events from last week. First one is called Produce 101 Vote Manipulation Bombshell. So I made a YouTube video this week after the full details of the manipulation were reported. I'm going to go over those facts again. So if you already watched that video, you might want to fast forward a minute or so. But I'm going to go over them and then we'll talk about them. But on December 5th, full details of the manipulation were reported by Hanguk Ilbo, which is a reputable news source in Korea. The information from this report is directly from the written indictment regarding the Produce 101 case, which Assemblyman Ha Tae-kyung received from the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office. And these facts have not been disputed by anyone as of now. So I'm going to go over each of the seasons from the most recent one to the first season, and then we will talk about it. So Produce X101 and X1. On July 17th, 2 days before the Produce X101 finale, 3 individuals, including head producer An, chief producer Kim, met in a CJ E&M meeting room and decided the 11 trainees that would debut and their respective rankings. The top 11 rankings of the halfway results of the pre-finale online voting, including trainees who had already debuted in other idol groups, and the decision was made to exclude them from the final lineup. Additionally, the first round rankings for 1 trainee and the top 20 rankings for 2 trainees were also manipulated in order to keep them on the program. So, Produce X101, the top 11 rankings were pretty much chosen before the finale. That's the summary. Produce 48 and IZ*ONE. The 12 members of IZ*ONE and their rankings were also reportedly decided before the voting began for the August 2018 live finale. Similarly to Produce X101, the pre-finale online votes included trainees that they did not want in their top 12, and thus the rankings were manipulated. So also, Produce 48 and IZ*ONE, the 12 members were chosen before the live finale. Now going back to Produce 101 Season 2, also called Produce 101 and 101, one member of 101 was also chosen through the manipulation of the final votes. It is reported that An switched the rankings of 2 trainees during the July 2017 live finale of Produce 101 Season 2. Additionally, the rankings of 2 trainees were also switched during the first elimination on the show. And lastly, Produce 101 Season 1, the rankings of 2 trainees were switched for the first elimination of the inaugural season.
Wow.
Are we gonna read the rest of the bullets, or should we start discussing?
Let me read some stuff.
All right.
Here, more.
Yeah, guys. There's more.
There's a lot more. So I think that the crux of the issue as to why this all blew up, why this isn't being investigated, is what I'm calling the dirty money. Dirty money. So from January 2018 to July 2019, head PD An received adult entertainment services that were paid for by 5 executives from 4 entertainment agencies, a total of 47 times. The services amounted to 47 million Korean won, which is about 40,000 USD, and were in exchange for arranging appearances on Produce 48 and Produce X101, as well as favorable editing. It should be noted that CJ E&M themselves made a profit of about 125 million won, which is around 105,000 USD, through the live text message voting from the Produce 48 and Produce X101 finales. So, earlier in the week, before the full extent of the manipulation was revealed, it was reported that 8 individuals had been indicted. We already knew this, but now all of their identities are now out. So they include 3 staff members from CJ E&M, head PD An, chief PD Kim, and a producer with the last name Lee. We kind of knew that. And 5 insiders from entertainment agencies. So a Starship President Kim, Starship Vice President Kim, Woolim employee Lee, 8D creative employee Ryu, but 8D claims that they were never investigated and that Ryu had been employed by them but had started his own company called Infant Terrible for Produce X101. And lastly, an employee from Around Us Entertainment with the last name Kim, and Around Us denied this, and they said that they did not make any immoral gains, but had treated Mnet staff to drink and alcohol.
Real quick, pause for a second. A lot of these employees have already left the company, such as Lee from Woolim is not a part of Woolim anymore. I assume a similar case would be happening with employee key met around us. Not sure about the president and VP of Starship. So,
And also for president and vice president titles, Korea generally has a lot of those within a company. So I doubt there's just one President Kim at the company. I doubt there's many president roles because that's generally how Korean companies works in order to get people a lot of good titles. Finally, the prosecution has stated that the 8 individuals acted alone in the manipulation. All other parties were determined to be victims of the actions unless new substantial evidence emerges. Prosecutors have even confirmed that CJENM as an organization did not have any knowledge of the voting manipulation acted by their program staff.
all right.
Okay, we could talk about it now. That was a lot of stuff to go over.
Wow.
Let's start with the law.
Okay.
In America, lobbying is legal.
True.
In Korea, it's not.
Dang.
It's bribery of any form is illegal.
Right.
After $50, it's illegal. If I was a parent and I decided to give a gift of more than $100 to my kid's teacher, I get arrested for bribery. That's how it is.
Wow.
Now with that in mind, think about all the things CJENM and Mr. An received. Drinks, parties. Doesn't seem like any parties. Looks like sex parties to me. Like, my goodness. YouTube demonetized me. Oh my god. Like, this is a pretty. It's stuff like. It's like stuff I see in movies and they become real and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was fiction. Nah, it was a documentary. Like, what was that one movie? What was that one movie with like politicians and Lee Byung-hun in it?
Warren, you're doing that thing where you say what is that thing, and then we never actually get the answer.
The Insiders.
Okay,
The movie
correct. You got the answer this time.
You watch the movie and then there's a bunch of scenes with like politicians being bribed into doing stuff and sex parties and whatnot.
It happens.
It does. I mean, that's with politicians, and now we see media people doing this. My goodness, it's like, I mean, we knew it's there, but like, come on, like when it's confirmed, it's like, ugh, gross.
I mean, yeah, but to say that Korea's not really corrupt would be a complete lie.
Oh, Korea's totally corrupt.
It's just that this
Here's
is
the thing, though.
Okay.
When it's a conspiracy theory, it's one thing.
It's
But
confirmed.
when it's confirmed, it's like, oh boy, look at this hot mess. Who's gonna come in and clean all this? Like that kind of deal. Like,
My opinion on how this affects the group still is that obviously X1 is in a much worse position because they have not signed contracts yet, right?
Yeah.
It would be very easy for CJ and I think not off the record. Who's the company that's managing them? It's the same one as I'm doing
It's
the
not
thing
off the
again.
record?
No. It's the group that managed 101. Can one of you look that up real quick?
oh,
But it is-
YMC? No wait.
No.
Swing?
Swing Entertainment, correct.
Oh.
It is very easy for them to just pull the plug on X1. It's very unfortunate, but it's true. IZ*ONE, there's more hope because they've already been established for a while. But at the same time, I feel like this is the rock bottom of the news unless the real rankings come out, which I don't think they will, to be honest. Should they come out? That's a whole nother discussion. But I feel like if they were going to release the full result, like the pre-voting rankings and stuff, it would have came out with this.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not super interested. Even though I was like invested in Produce 48, I don't want to know the rankings. Like, that's not gonna change anything. It's gonna probably make some people angry, make some people sad. But just don't tell us. Like, sometimes it's better off not knowing.
Yeah, but
ignore it as it is. Like,
But I could see the argument for the trainees who got screwed out of not making the show. I could see why they would want it to be.
I mean, I kind of got screwed out as well, but at the same time, like, I feel very conflicted here.
I feel like for both scenarios, somebody's gonna end up getting hurt. So
Yes.
there's no way for it to be fair for everyone. I don't think.
We'll have to see what happens because
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens.
all up in the air still.
At the end of the day, My best of wishes to everyone involved,
Yes.
unless
All the
they
training.
participated in the crimery.
Of course.
Big bad boys and girls. Why would you do this? Why would you?
If we have any big updates, we'll let you know. But for now, all you got to know is that pretty much the full details were released. But now let's move on to a section I am calling the curious case of BlackPink.
Oh,
Oh?
YG Entertainment stated that BlackPink's Tokyo Dome concert has been sold out, which is cool.
Really?
And that BlackPink is
Yay.
planning for a comeback in early 2020. And that they are
Ooh.
currently recording new songs. My personal feelings on this is we need an exact date before I get excited. And
if we learned anything, yes.
before we start this conversation, I want to make it clear that complete blame goes towards the company and not the artists, as we
Yes.
generally state on this show. But let's now look back at their history in order to make lay out the playing field. So they debuted back in 2016, right?
Wow, yeah.
During that year, they released four big songs: Boombaya, Whistle, Playing with Fire, Stay. Right? Those are all massive songs.
Yes.
The next 3 years, 2017, 2018, 2019, we've only gotten one like 8-track music video each of those years. As If It's Your Last in 2017, Doo 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 in 2018, Kill This Love in 2019. In their history, they only have 13 songs and 7 music videos.
Wow.
And the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because we were promised solo content from all 4 members. We only got Jenny's solo, although it is very good. We're still waiting for the other 3 members to get solo content. A common hot take I'm seeing online these days is that BlackPink are social media influencers who sing on occasion. That's a hot take. That's based on the fact that the members post a lot on social media, especially Instagram. They're advertising things constantly, yet we get no music. It's sad that their group is sort of becoming a meme now. It's very disappointing, and it's a reflection of the issues that YG is having as a company over 2019. But there's still no excuse for them not to get songs in 2017, 2018, I think.
They've been kind of a meme for a while. We've been joking around about the BlackPink situation since the beginning of the podcast. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Jenny dropped solo, we were like, oh, we don't think they're gonna get solo content. Let's be real, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us now, and a year later, nothing's changed. Oh my god, our podcast's over a year old.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Bro, we're approaching a
Hear
year.
you.
We're approaching like a year and a half soon, sir. But
Anyways, I mean, curious case of BlackPink. I don't think there's anything I gotta be curious about here.
no, I think it's curious. It's like even in 2017, 18, even though Doo 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 was like top 3 songs of 2018, I don't think that's a hot take at all. It's like it's one of the first instances. Normally, when groups don't get comebacks, is because in this scenario, there's like an internal problem. But never when a group is this hyped. Like this is a top tier girl group that's not getting promotions. That's unprecedented.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, right? We're just looking at the official stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Unofficially, I read so much people talking about saying stuff like the BlackPink fandom in Korea is like nearly dead, or like stuff like YG over exaggerates the numbers of ticket sales Blackpink has, stuff like that. I hear this left and right. Maybe I'm in an echo chamber. I don't know. I hope I am.
No, you're right. That's a common theme I see as well.
Right, and then I'm like, why? Like, YG have to know. There's no way they don't know that like Blackpink is potentially their biggest source of income in many years, and they're just having them run their own Instagram pages as a full-time career. Come on,
They gotta know, like, if you just release a song, Korean, English, whatever it is, you set up an online store in the US and in Europe where the albums aren't ridiculously expensive, you will make boatloads of money. They gotta know that, right? Like, it doesn't take a genius to know that. If the albums are like $18 with shipping in the US, right? And they make a US store and it gets to your house in like a week, they will sell so many albums. They have to know that. It's
Here's the
just
thing.
shocking to me.
Here's another thing, right? And this is a point. This is personally very personal. It's very opinion based. Personally, for me, their highest peak musically was Whistle. For me, and then
Okay.
everything
Debut.
And everything since for me since has been a downward hill. Duru Duru was a bit of a peak upwards. I liked Duru Duru. And
That's
then
my favorite song.
they dropped the same song again for me personally with Kill This Love. And then As If It's Your Last sounded like a 21 song.
No, I like those songs.
Here's the thing. A recurring problem I have with these tracks is that they feel like they've been sitting on the drive for about half a decade or longer. Like,
I mean, they're all Teddy stuff.
Teddy sometimes makes very good stuff. Whistle is Teddy also. Like, and then stuff like As If It Was Your Last kind of sounds like a 21 song that would have fit in 2012 or 13, which, every once in a while, it feels like a flashback, feels like a, throwback Thursday. It's great. But if also all of your songs are like that, I don't know. And I'm not the only one criticizing Kill This Love. If you love the song, great. But there was also another group of people who didn't like the song. And at that point, I feel like they could just do a lot more than these.
Good rant, sir. Good rant.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Anita, what are your overarching thoughts
Dying
about
potential.
the situation?
I mean, as we mentioned before, I never blame the artist because I feel like they probably are feeling the same sense of exasperation. Like, like they
It's not
wanna
only
be
them. It's their parents.
Yeah,
like
the
some of their
fans, the
parents.
fans
No,
too.
I'm not talking to the fans. Their parents are some of them
parents,
are
yes,
active on social
family.
media and they're pissed. But
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
yeah. Like, I feel like it's very clear that it's not really them not wanting to promote. It's people behind them, like production team, their management, YG. So I don't know. I feel like since things have come to light this year, the problems, the conflicts that were going on within the company, I wouldn't be surprised, like Howard mentioned, like these songs, the songs that were meant for BlackPink are still like in the vault. Like they're still already set. They never figure out a way to organize themselves, production team, to get these releases out, or I don't know what they prioritize over releasing a BlackPink comeback. But like, I don't know. I always blame the management because I feel like they have the resources, but they don't know how to use them.
For sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's also another hard drive out there with like 5 terabytes worth of just BlackPink songs and recordings.
Exactly. Yes.
No,
This
definitely.
is.
Because if I remember correctly, either Kill This Love or Doo 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 was from like they recorded like 3 years before it was released. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. One of those two songs. But I guess we're just frustrated because there's so much potential. They are a top tier girl group. They are still top 3 to 4 for sure. They just need music, and it's like so frustrating.
Yes.
Because we know the company has the money. The company is struggling right now, and what does the company need to do? Reprove itself. Who's like one of the hottest commodities they got? BlackPink. Yet we don't get music. It's just puzzling to me.
So there's like 2 comebacks a year, please. Just 2 comebacks.
I know that. Yeah, in 2020, just 2 comebacks. I don't care. I will concede.
Wish list.
I will be like, all right, screw the solo comebacks as long as we get 2 comebacks. Like,
I don't solo content, dude. I never expected that to happen in the first place.
it just sucks.
Just I want to see them a little more often, please.
But our last topic for today is the 2019 Mnet Asian Music Awards, also known as MAMA. So, MAMA 2019 was held in Japan on December 4th at the Nagoya Dome. The 4 daesang, which are also called big prizes, were given out for the following categories, with BTS achieving their second daesang or BTS All Kill of the year.
Wow.
Artist of the Year, BTS. Song of the Year, BTS Boy With Love. Album of the Year, BTS Map the Soul, Persona. And Worldwide Icon of the Year, BTS. But MAMA also has many other awards and categories, so please look them up online. But ones of note include Best Male Group went to BTS, Best Female Group twice, Best Male Artist Baekhyun, Best Female Artist Chungha, Best New Male Artist or Rookie of the Year for males went to TXT, Best New Female Artist or Female Rookie of the Year went to ITZY. Congratulations to all the winners.
Congratulations.
Cool. Interesting thing to note is they did not give out consolation prizes, right? Because they gave BTS Best Male Group of the Year plus all the day songs. So it's just cool to see how the different award shows handle them in different ways. But I don't think there's much to talk about here, right?
If there's anything I can comment.
Okay.
Oh?
we're going to be doing our own awards.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's true.
You wanna do the plug, Doug, or
All right, here's the plug. So we are recording our award show right after we record this. Because during the holiday season, the 2 Wednesdays we normally release on Wednesdays, it's going to be Christmas Day and then New Year's Day. I'm going to be out of the country. Y'all know I'm going to Korea, so we're going to pre-record some
Yay.
episodes for you, so you will still get content. So be on the lookout for that. We will be doing our award show. It's going to get a little spicy. But in terms of quick takes this week, there's 3, but they're kind of big. First one, Connect Entertainment announces Kang Daniel's hiatus from promotions.
what?
They stated beginning early this year, Kang Daniel has been suffering from numerous health problems, which often stem from a weakening immune system. Doctors have also diagnosed him with depression as well as mental instability, which he has been working towards recovery through treatment and medication. Recently, his anxiety has worsened, and we have come to the decision that what he needs most now is rest and recuperation. His health and safety are of utmost importance. As a result, Kang Daniel will be unable to carry out any further schedules related to his digital single Touching.
Man.
I mean,
Hope he gets better though.
hope he gets better. I'm glad the company is sensible enough to give him a
yeah.
rest, even though he's a week into promotions. Most companies might ignore that.
They
I'm
have to. It's a
very
one-man company.
His company.
Right? Like, they have to. It's his company.
happy.
But
Oh, man.
next, Big Hit Entertainment makes a lengthy rebuttal to JTBC's claims that BTS is seeking legal help due to profit disputes. This just came out today. It's hard to break down what happened, but I'm going to try my best. According to the December 9th broadcast of JTBC's news program Newsroom, the idol group reached out to a large law firm based in Seoul's Gangnam district, stating that they are considering taking legal action against Big Hit Entertainment regarding an issue over the agent's distribution of profits. That's what came out on the news program, right? That was the story they ran with. Big Hit came out and said, heck to that. They completely denied that, and they dumpstered JTBC. So
Oh, wow.
Big Hit's statement was released after a checkup with BTS's members as well as their parents. The company was even able to find footage of a JTBC journalist breaking into the company grounds. This is a quote from their statement, which you can look the full quote online. Whatever JTB's intentions for this report, it is not true. JTB has reported it as true and related it to issues not relating to our company, which has caused damage to us and BTS. We believe that JTBC's report is a problem and does not comply with minimum principles. We ask for JTBC's sincere apology and response. So they denied everything that JTBC said. They were like, yeah, BTS and their families reached out to some law firms. We asked them to do that ourselves so that they can get a perspective on our negotiations that we're going to have about money and stuff like that. Big Hit was basically saying, we want our artists and their teams to be fully informed before we sit down. Yeah, we disagree about some stuff, but we work it out. And it's good that they're informed when we have these discussions.
That sounds fine.
More or less what they're saying is that JTBC just latched onto one thing and they went overboard and over-reported it. And they even went through some illegal measures in order to get this story.
Dang.
Big L's.
Wow.
Big L's.
Man, big oof, JTBC.
Especially since that CCTV footage they got. They're like, bro, you literally broke into the
That's,
company to try to get this story.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like something that company would do. They're like, because they're one of the companies that led the whole the whole report against President Park, former President
Right.
Park.
Yeah,
And not expected of them. Big oof. Big oof, Sonsoki.
Yep. But lastly, the 2019 SBS Gayo Daejeon, which I think is the second big show along with Mama, which takes place on Christmas Day, December 25th at the Gokcheong Sky Dome in Seoul, dropped their full performance artist lineup. So artists performing will include BTS, Twice, Red Velvet, GOT7, Mamamoo, 17, A-Pink, AOA, Monsta X, G-Friend, Newest, Astro, Stray Kids, Chungha, Oh My Girl, NCT Dream, ITZY, N-Flying, NCT 127, and TXT.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a full lineup.
That lineup is ridiculous. This is a more packed lineup than any other show this year, for sure.
Wow.
It's got everybody.
In terms of comebacks and releases. So December 10th, Tuesday, we're getting Baekhyun. It's her debut at her
Yay.
one-woman company, Blue Vinyl. December 10th, Tuesday, we got The Legend Boas coming back. December 13th, we're
Yes.
getting Ailey and Kim Jae-hwan.
Wow.
And then in terms of confirmed comeback news, Monsta X will be releasing a full English album on February 14th. They already
Wow.
released one of the tracks off of that album. So you can go look
okay,
that
okay.
up online.
Wait, don't we also have a girl group confirmed?
No,
A girl group named Luna?
no, it's not. Okay, so what you're referencing is today they released some
Yeah.
images online. It's one song and it's a fan song.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's still something.
No, no, everyone thought it was
No.
a new. Everyone
No.
thought it was a new unit or their actual
Oh.
comeback with Burn, but it's not.
Where is Burn?
I know.
Give me Burn.
I know. Okay. No, you. I thought you were mentioning Rocket Punch or something there. But
Oh.
in terms of State of the Nation, I've been just working on our award show. Thanks to the nation for helping me out. You can see how you guys helped out once it goes live. And then our 2019 year in review episode, which will be the episode releasing on New Year's Day. There's a lot of prep behind that one too. So that's been occupying like most of my time lately. What about you guys?
I'm kind of doing things similar to you, but in a
Oh.
different aspect.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
prepping up for the 2019 SojuTalk Kpop Awards
Oh yeah.
with my good friend Iris. That'll happen
Yay,
sometime
Iris.
in the future, near future. That'll happen. I'm also prepping up I kind of mentioned this earlier. Well, I got the idea and just mentioned it on the podcast last week that I would do a video essay of the Sajagi situation, chart manipulation situation. That's I don't want to make that longer than 10-15 minutes, but stuff like that. I will.
Yeah.
I have a lot of like video ideas I want to
Ooh.
expand onto. I've been talking to Doug about doing vlogs. Anita will join because I
Ooh.
will call her in the middle of filming
What? Excuse me.
randomly. I will surprise her.
Just
I don't
know
know.
that 2020, we're going to be making a lot of weird content. Some of it's going to work, some of it's not going to work, but it should be
Experimental.
interesting nonetheless.
But I mean, if you haven't subbed to our YouTube channel, buddy, I don't know what you're doing. Just
Anita, what have you been doing in the world of K-pop? I know Produce 101 Japan, some kids dropped out of the show, right?
Oh my God. There's
Dropped
so
out?
many things that have changed. I don't know who's in the top 11 anymore. I don't want to give spoilers in case people have not caught up, but you should really cut up because things have changed. So people have dropped out, and because of that, and because the finale is this week, they brought some people back. So there's a switcheroo, a lineup change, but I don't know. I'm excited and still a little bit. I'm still a little bit confused, a little bit sad at the situation, but I want to believe that it was all done in I would say good intentions, like I hope it was for the best for those people. So yeah, I'm excited for the finale coming up this week. I don't know what's gonna happen, but other than that, I've been really into Crush's new album because it released a couple days ago, and it's so good. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's called From Midnight to Sunrise, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is his second full-length album. So this is, I don't know, this is a big deal. I want to shout out one of the songs called With You. Really, really good track. I feel like overall, the sense of this album is that it's very much a jazzy, very soulful R&B inspired album. So if you're into that, you'll love it. I really love it. I don't know. I can't stop raving about this album. It's really good.
I have a problem this year.
What's your
Where,
problem?
like in terms of K-pop, I can clearly figure out what I liked and what I disliked. In terms of hip hop and R&B in Korea, man, there are too many good albums.
There's a lot of good stuff. Yes.
There's multiple albums where I would give it album of the year if it dropped last year or the year before.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
It's which I'm not even trying to plug myself in here. Like, I'm being honest. like Crush's new album, very worthy of R&B album of the year in Korea,
So
along
good.
with like Hippie with Gypsy and like Sogum and like Orenerim and like
BY's
Soma
album.
dropped an album. So many good R&B albums.
UI.
My gosh.
Can I give a
And
shout
then
out
hip-hop,
here?
I'm not even gonna get into. So
Oh yes.
Shout out to us for figuring out Anita's internet situation because we made it. We made it. No, I'm so happy right now.
oh man.
We made it through the whole episode. Like, y'all don't know this.
Sorry, guys.
Yo, real
I'm
talk.
sorry
Real
for
talk here.
giving you so much stress.
Real talk here. There's
my
a couple
God.
things y'all need to know. If you watch the YouTube video, like you really watching the YouTube video, sometimes we have random cuts, right? Because we either have to like flub up something so bad we have to call a timeout and edit it, or like I say something completely wrong, or I lose my tongue, or Anita's internet kicks out. It happens occasionally, right?
I don't think you have to cut out anything today except the very beginning.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe that. Maybe we'll clean up a couple sections. Like,
Oh my god.
but we have struggled with this Anita internet. We have heard the Discord was really angry about it.
I'm sorry.
They made memes about it. Like it was a thing. Like I was
know.
debating buying Anita like what was it called? A
no.
mobile hotspot just for the podcast.
a Patreon.
We were gonna have a
Anita's
crowdfunding
Wi-Fi.
just to get Anita internet, but I think we figured it out. This is the greatest Christmas present ever. Honestly.
man.
But that's the show this week. This has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot at K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and not a cyborg Anita this week. I'm not gonna go through the whole run through again because I know y'all already know what I'm gonna say. But we will see y'all next week. I'm so happy now. But we'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.